I think I'm live. It'd be nice to know if I'm live. It says I'm live, and it says I'm live over there. But do you? That's the question. Do you think I'm live right now? Only time will tell. There it is. Live chat. Come on, get over there. Hello, everybody. This is silly. There we go. Got the chat here, which is where I want it. How's everyone doing on sports day? Big sports day, I know. Welcome everyone. Just a hot sports day stream. You don't play sports? Or you don't watch sports? How dare you? Sports is my favorite thing to watch. I'm doing well. I'm extremely busy and I have quite a few videos on my to-do list, and my thought was one of my videos I thought could be a nice little bounce back and forth. Plus, I haven't on this channel we've been just like reposting what we're doing on Twitch, you know, because we're playing the game on Twitch and then we repost it here, and probably the worst time in my schedule to try this, but I wanted to just have like open the two-way road and get more YouTube algorithmic engagement. No, I genuinely wanted to say hi to everyone. I wanted to try to bounce ideas off of each other. Just like in our Discord, we have a homebrew spot, and it's a great place for me to go to toss an idea out. But I also just want to have a live conversation about a homebrew idea I have. And I need to go grab my coffee. Here. Go sports. Yeah, look at that. I'm still in my kitchen. You're watching me make coffee from this. The worst angle for compare this footage to like Peter McKinnon making coffee. Oh, this is like peak filmmaking right now. Your eyeballs probably can't even handle it. Seriously, I think I just blew Peter McKinnon's coffee footage out of the water with this live stream. Like, my goodness. How's the music, by the way? Is the music competitive to my voice? Is it chill in the background? I got it just right. Oh, my cat. Buddy. Let's see. While I was over making coffee, I watch esports. Hey, I kind of do esports. It's called Dungeons and Dragons. Mental esports, really. Let's see. Get in. Oh, one of these streams. Looking good, Cmike. Thank you, Jason Lee. All right, so, let us talk about an idea. Let's first get a survey out there to kind of gauge what this is. Who in the chat plays D&D or watches D&D or tabletop games or Elder Scroll RPG video games? You know, come on. You know, kind of all in the same ballpark. Jason Lee, I both play and watch. Dungeon Girl, me. Currently playing an Elf Druid, sick. I am my household's DM. You are a brave one. Both. I do all those Great, great. All right, this seems to be the right crowd then. I haven't found a good way to play just terrific. Well, just in our Discord, we're still trying to beta it out, but we have bots connected to D&D Beyond. So we can roll and search all the official rules and books in our Discord, and you can play in Discord with our voice chats, and the DM in our Discord has access to a music app or a music bot, so that way the DM can, DJ the game and use the rolls and use the books, and we have all of D&D Beyond unlocked. So if you're playing D&D in our Discord, you have access to all the books, official books. Let's see, I've been watching. So if you want to try finding a good group in our Discord, there's quite a few of friendly people playing D&D, and they love to play. Playing IRL, but COVID keeps us apart. Doesn't this channel know that better than anyone? All right, so great. This seems like the perfect crowd to talk about this. So, where do I start? Let's just read what this says, and I think that's the best way to go. New and more potions in D&D. All right, let me get out my binder and we can really get deep in this. As I drop like a dozen note cards. Okay. My official binder. First few pages on my binder is a bunch of stuff that's mixed with homebrew and suggestions to just keep me focused. Fazula Gaming, I love you too. You guys got me into VFX, doing my own short films. That's awesome. Those are hard. I don't know if you can go any deeper than saying making short films and movies are hard. NPC classes, which I don't know who here has seen my NPC classes video in my workshop. I've updated it to make it far easier to read and skim through in the moment. We can probably go over that in a bit. Healing. I got tabs. I should use my tabs. My healing tab. I need to fix my rest system. I still love my hit die system. I have a brewing medicine and poison and apothecary kit system, heavily inspired by Dale Kingsmill. But I want to go over it one more time before I share it to make sure it's more of my own thing. Here we go. So, major important thing I think I found handy, especially if you have a cleric in the party. These two pages are the healing tables. Basically every official way, ranked by level, how someone can get healed in D&D. That way, if someone wants to cast a healing spell and they're struggling to find the data, or I just want to see it for myself, I can quickly go to it. The more complicated ones, I actually put the page number of the official book so I can get to it. All right. So I didn't put the cost. I don't know why I didn't put the cost. At the end of it, after wish, I have P's standing for potions. So I have the common healing potion. Oh, I did put cost. I'm so clever. Okay, I put common healing, 5 platinum to 10 platinum. Oh, I was shorthanding it. So 50 gold to 100 gold is a common health potion in D&D. I'm kind of in the middle of debating if that's an actual good price, but don't worry about the prices. We want to talk about kick-ass potions that can make gaming cool. So, common healing, which is, looks like 2d4? Is that right? I'm not even gonna trust this. I'm gonna look up D&D Beyond. I'm not trusting my chart right now. 2d4. So what I have here is a little narrative. If any of you know the rules for potions, keep me in line. I want rule lawyers in this chat. Put your lawyer hats on, hang up your degrees, and we're going to work. Okay, common healing potion. 2d4 heal. I have it set as a painkiller red tonic. So I kind of put a little narrative spin on it. It tastes like red apple. I think that's cute. I have elixir of health, which is like a relief yellow tonic, kind of like an instant ibuprofen. Cures the disease, blind, deafen, paralyzed, poison. Tastes like lemon. Greater healing, which is 100 gold to 300 gold. That's so expensive. I know it can like save somebody from the brink of death, but it's a potion. Anyway, greater I have here as a like green milky tea. Tastes like green pine. I remember every time I think of green pine tea, I think of Bear Grylls in the middle of the woods making pine tea, and he's like, this is good vitamin D. Let me scroll back up to the chat. You guys are going at it, and I love it. What is it? Fuse Gaming, great to see you doing your vision of D&D. Thank you so much. It's a lot of work. Norin, I think I'm saying that right. I've had DMs come up with random potions now and then. Oh, then you're going to be very helpful. I remember them having a crate of some that upped the ability of modifiers. Okay. Then I drank them all. Solid. I became a god for an hour. Yo, that's sick. I'm needing something like that for myself. Jason Lee, I think you're referring to the table. Yeah. Once I clean up this table, I can make it a shareable doc that everyone can just download. What edition are we playing? We're talking about 5e. So I'm catching up in the chat right now to answer any loose questions before I get really deep into this. We did that one time, but we didn't become godlike. Okay. That's my... Okay. All right. Great. Sweet. Where was I? Green milky tea, Bear Grylls, vitamin D. All right, so greater potions, a green milky tea. I like the little narrative. So it's cute, like just playing D&D, first time, right? Like if I'm DMing somebody, it's the first time, I might not go into this extreme detail, like it's a red tonic, it's a green milky tea kind of stuff. I'll be like, drink your potion. And they'll have that like past video game experience, and that's what they're going to rely on. And I think that's totally fine. But if I'm playing with friends that were in it, and I'm really pushing my personality and my personal narrative creativity, I'm going to be all about this. Superior healing, 450 gold to 750 gold. And that's 8d4. Max healing would be like 40 HP. I don't know if that's a 700 gold potion. I really don't. I think, yeah, this is Live Dragon. I don't know if that's a 700 gold potion, honestly. This is not economics. Economics is another video. But superior healing is a numbing salve. I like that. So it's like you put it on the wound and it kind of numbs it, and like you're because HP is an abstraction. It's not a literal one-to-one health, right? So it numbs the pain. You can keep going. I like that. Superior. No, sorry. Supreme. That's one above. The highest healing potion. 10d4. 60 HP. Is that right? No. 40 HP. I need to check my numbers. 1,200 to 2,500 gold. I might be okay with this because how I have it is it's a magical clear tonic, and it's kind of like has. Oh, sorry. The numbing salve smells like lavender. Just to top that off. But the magical clear tonic works like drinking from the Holy Grail in Indiana Jones. You drink it to get your breath back. You can pour it on the wound just melts away. That's magic. I'm okay with that being in the hardcore platinum zone. Thank you for my crazy beard. Yeah, I have to clean up the cheeks. Grooming tips. I have to clean up the cheeks or else it looks like I'm going like Jumanji on it. 10d4 plus 20 is supreme. Okay, so that's how I got to 60. So my math is correct, but I didn't put the modifier for it. Okay. So those are potions in D&D. Those are official potions. Let's see. I should just bring up. Here we go. I can bring up. Oh, it's right here. There we go. Let me bring this up. I'm bringing things up, guys. If I say it more than once, I'm doing it. D&D Beyond. I want my... Okay, so the D&D Beyond app, it's whatever. What I really love is the website and treating it as like a D&D Google. And then the D&D player app is clutch. Like, when I started playing Julius and I was using a character sheet and it was the first time I was playing a spellcaster, first time playing a cleric, I was getting it wrong. The rule lawyers, you're going to cringe at early Julius. But then I switched to the app and I got much, much better. Speaking of rule lawyering, check out the Battle Royale game. We dropped that this morning. Let's see. I should just search potions on D&D Beyond. Let's see here. Potion of poison. I would just call that a poison, but sure, why not? 3d6 damage. Okay. All right, so we're definitely be going. We definitely can get super deep into this. I'm gonna bring up a Google Doc, and I want to just make a list of a bunch of potions and poisons for D&D right now. Let's think of names, not mechanics yet. So we got poison. Let's start with poison. I like the idea of what's traditionally considered in fantasy RPGs like a mana potion. Mana? Yeah, mana. And I stumbled on it on Etsy. Someone made a prop of it. And I like the idea of like 1d4, get your spell slots back. Like a potion for magical recovery, basically. What would you call that? I don't want to use the word mana. Magical recovery. Needs a name. So, 4. There's elixir. It's pretty powerful. It is. And it's like you can control, like you choose where you're going to put your spell slots. Like you could just put them all into getting one level 4 spell slot. I'm kind of happy that it caps at level 4 at that point. Go watch football. Hey, it's called sports, not football. Let's see. Fire and ice. Fire and ice. That's an interesting potion. Here's a bottle of fire and ice. Be very careful with it. Arkema? Is it a strong E or a soft E, Dervid? Let's see. Elixir of Arcana. Ooh. I like it. I really like it. Potion of Wizard Respite. Recipe? What? Hey. I know. I'm ignoring you and I'm focusing on the stream. What do you got to say about that? You gonna go sit in your box? Yeah. You wanna sit in your box? This is a thing. Yeah? You wanna sit in your cardboard box? I'm glad I have a bigger desk because they need to have a box on my desk for them to feel close to me. And now there's more room. Let's see. Oh my. Potion of makes you explode. It casts a 9th level fireball centered on itself. A fireball potion. That kind of connects to that fire and ice. Fireball. You know what? Ice ball. That doesn't sound right. Fireball or frozen. So fire and ice. This would definitely be like I'll put this up in a legendary. It's a potion that you roll and you either get to cast it on someone else or cast on yourself. Either fire damage or ice damage, 20-foot radius. What's fireball? Fireball is 46 damage, something like that. There's something interesting. And it's like frost. It's frosty inside the vial, but it's lava in the center. So it's like frozen lava. 8d6. Ooh. So fire and ice, a potion of fire and ice is the vial is frozen to the touch. Like if you licked it, it would be stuck to your tongue, kind of frozen. And in the center of it, you see hot magma. 8d6 damage. You have to drink it. If you drink it, it will either give you fire breath, frost breath, or do an instant fireball on you, or an ice frost equivalent of fireball on you. So there's 4 options. So we have to make the ratio divided by 4. You can roll a d20 and just break it into the fourths. 1 out of 4 chance. Cool. Frost breath, fire breath, fireball self, frostball self. Perfect. I love Elixir of Arcana. So in D&D Beyond, we have Potion of Poison, whatever. So poison, interesting, smells and tastes just like Potion of Healing. It looks and smells just like Potion of Healing. That's interesting. I never knew that. Someone could get trolled so hard with that. So poison being, hey everyone new to the stream, we are talking potions for D&D 5e. I just want to make a shit ton. Snowball. Yeah, it should be snowball, right? A shit ton. Shit ton? Yeah. Sorry for the curse, but shit ton of potions. I just want more potions for D&D. I want them to be cool. I want them to sound cool. And I'm the kind of player that is like, does this exist? Maybe. And maybe someday I'll bump into the real one just like I am right now. Otherwise, I'll make it up. Ice Spike, Cone of Cold, Elixir of Gears for constructs. Ooh, carbon copy. Elixir of Gears. Hello Kitty. Constructs. Yeah. Am I ignoring you? I know. Yeah. Okay, Luna. Allie went for a run and now she's having a fit that Allie's not in the same room. Here you go, my 1 HP player. Let me give you this totally awesome not poison potion. Yeah, right? Because in 5e you can taste things to make sure they're the right thing. Looks, smells, and tastes like potion of healing or other beneficial potions. That's so messed up. The only way you can identify it is by using the identify spell. I'm fine with that if it's like that's the type of poison you want to make, like a secret poison. Yeah, that makes sense. But to say all poisons are falling under that mechanic, like the reason why that rubs me the wrong way is in my home game right now, we're dealing with a green dragon and some crazy poisonous stuff. And I want to make it obvious. Because if it's too mysterious like this, where it's, oh yeah, take that healing potion, you die. If it's too mysterious and hidden like that, I don't think it plays well or makes a fun game. That works if we know that kind of poison exists, if the players use that kind of poison, or there's some speculation that's about to happen. Potion of fire resist instance. Fire instance. What other potions are there on D&D Beyond? Because I typed in potion. So we got potion of poison, potion of watchful rest, mind reading, fire breath, animal friendship, vitality, heroism. I think those two are probably going to be roughly the same. Giant size. That's a fun one. I love potion of giant size. My dwarf that I play in my home game is like, he's a barbarian. He has Wolverine claws, and we're fighting a boss. And I just take, it wasn't the potion. I think it was a potion. Yeah, I took a potion of giant size, and I grew to a large. And what I did is I grabbed one of the NPC bad guys, swung him into the boss and just started beating them because I multi-attack and I had the feat Tavern Brawler, so I could use improvised weapons if it is 1 to 2 size smaller than me, and so a humanoid body was perfect for it. A little fidgety, but it was funny. Yaroshin, how am I? I am exhausted and exhilarated at the same time. Potion of ant size. I like that. So let's talk about economics in potions. Super short here. The reason why I don't like potions being extraordinarily expensive. Even though if you think in a story like they save people's lives, if everyone could afford a potion, are they really special, right? That totally makes sense. Absolutely makes sense to me. The thing that doesn't pan out because D&D is your players get so rich that, and they spend so much money constantly, that they begin to forget what poor is like. And it's like, copper, why are you giving me copper? It's like, well, copper is a common thing for normal people to use. Like a mod in lifestyle, I looked it up just recently. It's like modest living, like a normal living expenses is 1 gold a day. Comfortable living is 2 gold a day. And I would categorize modest and comfortable being like mid-class. And everything below that, it's you got 2 silvers in there, right? There's a 2 silver one and then a 1 silver one. And under that is just broke. Just sleep on the streets. And above comfortable, there's like a tent, there's aristocrat. So high class, right? And I would imagine aristocrat also kind of sums up nobles. So when you're thinking about that, how much is a house, right? The ultimate D&D question. How much does a house cost? So you have, let's go modest, right? Modest living, 1 gold per day is the cost of living. Times 360 days a year times 20 years. That's how much it would cost to buy a house. That would cost you 7,200 gold to buy a house in a modest neighborhood. If that's the case, right? If my life expenses is 1 gold a day, why would I spend a year's worth of money on a greater healing potion? You know? I don't know. There's something there. I'm bouncing this kind of off of you. Let me know what you think. Like, I'm gonna scrub through the chat and catch up a bit as I was ranting about that. You can see the potion of poison coming into effect where a new NPC is traveling with the party and had motives. Okay, yeah. Show of good faith. Yeah, like a spy or heist thing, that those mechanics for poison make total sense. Potion of language scramble temporarily randomize the spoken language. You know what I like about, I have a homebrew system for using language and learning language, and that potion kind of just falls perfectly in there. Let's see, it is in tips. Yeah, here we go. I would make that potion say, all right, pick verbs or nouns. I would like let the player pick, and that's what they understand. And I'll say what they're saying, and I was like, you only heard the nouns or the verbs. Pick one. I like that. Potion of language rambling. I feel like you need like an insect in that. There's like a bug component in there. Economy. Shift it from money being the limiter. Potions of movement teleports up to 60 feet in a direction, but gives the player disadvantage on their next saving throw. Because like it was just so fast. So a teleportation potion. Yeah? Am I still ignoring you? I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I thought I could be at my desk. No, I can't be? Do you want a cookie? Do you just want love? Yeah, you just want love? I can give you love. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I always seen it more of a rarity than an expense. Gold or plat. Potion of wild magic. That. Are you typing for me? You're gonna end the stream. That's how crazy you are. Potion of wild magic. Yeah. Let me pull up my laser pointer. Hey, a little laser? A little laser? Come on. Come on. You got a little sticky note on your butt. Okay. Potion of wild magic. That I'm gonna save that. I have to put some good stew on that. That's a crazy cool idea. I've always had this outlook. Potions. Checker's Guide Through the Galaxy. Insert thingy they put in the ear. Yeah, pretty much. Or like, was it Farscape? Farscape, where John something, John something. That's TV. Goes into the Leviathan ship, and they put a little creature in his ear, and he can now understand all languages. Wild magic can break things, and it's always fun. I agree, wild magic is fun. That's why, as a default in my games, as a DM, sorcerers are constitution based, and unless explained otherwise in the backstory, because I like the idea of an all-powerful, constantly growing powerful magical being relying on constitution to give their power, which means you can play with hit dice, which means you can play with exhaustion to an extreme point with this character. And magic that breaks the universe. Potion of extra limb? That's interesting. Yeah, that was something I saw looking up making Julius. Was some homebrews for tree ants were like extra limbs to give you more extra attacks. Save extra limb. That's a good one. Potion of laser pointing. Red dot appears and you... If you... No. If you take the potion of laser pointing... you suddenly become it's almost like it's a charm potion, right? No tabaxi can keep their eyes off of you. Potion of entanglement. How would a potion of entanglement work? Because obviously, yeah, you can toss a potion, right? But in my mind, a potion is more of something that you want to consume. So if you were to consume Potion of Entanglement, what would happen to you? Item I gave my players was a pair of boots that could act as mini immovable rods. That's hilarious. It reminded me of a scene in Buffy the Vampire Slayer where they use magic to stick this weird stone into Spike's eye for some reason. Claim friend, which one are you responding to? Laser pointing? Finger emits a red glow. May become ET. Potion poison of unearned confidence. Ooh. The effect character now acts incredibly recklessly. DM as you see fit, but has a plus X to their rolls. I like, just by reading the name of that potion, potion or poison of unearned confidence. I write the word poison. This is something that the that official poison rule we can kind of take for this. It's like you drink it. When you drink it, you have to take a charisma saving throw. If you pass the charisma saving throw, you get a positive modifier to, let's say, charisma based stuff. If you roll low on the saving throw, you're getting a negative modifier. And the narrative concept being, is your character actually being confident enough to drink that? Or are they deceiving the potion and not actually confident? I think that's interesting. Because it plays on, like in Harry Potter, where Harry lies about giving the luck potion to Ron, right? And the confidence is in him the whole time. And he just had to believe it. And you just have to mechanically replicate that, or else your players are going to be like, yeah, I'm confident. So, okay, if you're confident, roll a saving throw. And that saving throw determines if the character, not the player, if the character is actually confident, Kappa, if they're confident when taking that potion. And that will give them positive or negative. Come on. You're stepping on the keyboard. You can't be stepping on the keyboard, Luna. Come on. I love you, but you're so hyper right now. Come on, go get it. It's right there. Look, it's right here. Oh, you gotta get it. You gotta get it. You're going. She's running in circles. She's chasing it. She's on the rug. She's going to the left. She's going to the right. She's good at sports. Going right, going left. And she's pooped. Okay, back to this. I feel like this is going to keep happening with her. So for 1 hour, you can use the spell entanglement when you do the spell. And the slot is used if there's this for the spell itself. So you take the potion of entanglement, and you get the power to cast entanglement. That's interesting. Let's see. Hi, Sima. I love you. Time at corridor. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for replies. Thank you. I'm working with the corridor guys right now for Son of a Dungeon and functional filmmaking. Son of a Dungeon is coming along swell. I'm applying a lot of the things I learned here on Fables and the things that I was about to apply to Fables, but then COVID kind of put a halt on that. And I'm able to apply that to Son of a Dungeon and really get to learn and get that figured out before bringing it over here. So let's see. Potion of direct anger. Drinking it forces foes in a certain area to succeed a wisdom saving throw or be drawn to attack the consumer. I like the idea. Drinking it forces foes. So if I drink this potion, foes will hone in on me. That's kind of like the laser pointing potion. Or at least how I described it. Potion of direct anger. It's almost like, is it a line of sight? Or it's a range? Is it a range, like a potent smell that affects them? That's an interesting rabbit hole to think about. Potion of unwanted luck. So what's the difference between a potion of unwanted luck and a potion of luck? Is there such a thing as a potion of luck? Doesn't look like there's such a thing as potion of luck. So potion of unwanted luck is kind of our entry to luck. I would run that extremely like Harry Potter, where it's just things are just going well. Practically. Potion of poison is just one poison. There are many official poisons, but they aren't found under potions. Oh, that's a very good point. Let's search the word poison. There's poison spray, potionless poison, absorbing tattoo poison. Interesting. Armor of poison resistance. I'm getting at magical items. Detect poison and disease. I'm just scrolling through D&D Beyond. Let's see. Let's get through there. How do I feel about special items in RPGs? I want to write something where you have multiple options to get an amulet of understanding that allows you to speak and hear multiple languages. I think that's fine. We have something similar in Fables. Marza has glasses that allow her to read any language once she's attuned to it. Mr. Dark Remnants. There we go. I'm horrible at reading people's names, and I just go straight to the comments. I'm sorry. Yeah, I like that. Let me add to that, since it's a second language thing. I have a language system that I'm kind of tinkering with, because I realized there's no mechanic to adjudicate learning a language. There's, you know a language and you don't. And you can spend some role-playing time and it'll arbitrarily happen. I should probably make a video about that. I will definitely make a video about my language system. Yeah, I saw the map preview. Scroll through. Hi, Allie. Flame Friends.
Hi, Flame Friends.
Said it a while ago, I think. I'm trying to catch up on these. Potion of good sleep.
Are you just saying you're super popular?
What can I say?
I thought there
was. Potion.
Oh, yeah, 37. That's good.
Potion of good sleep, with 2 P's and 1 E, puts the consumer to sleep. Would a potion of good sleep put them in a short rest, or would it put them in a long rest?
No, but you're not the nicest guy.
I am the nicest guy. You're so mean to me. Why is that my popcorn?
I can grab some popcorn.
That would be wonderful.
Oh, okay, considering I also made your lunch today.
I can get my own popcorn.
Just like to test you. Okay, I'm gonna be Carmichael here for a second. What questions do we got here? Miss Cmike, ma'am. I am Allie Fitzgerald, thank you. I'm not his ma'am, but I understand you were trying to find a way to reference me. He does like to prank run.
Ready for the prank.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're asking where you keep your notes. Carmichael likes to use notes on his iPhone. He uses Google Drive.
Which notes in particular?
All your gaming, like how you create your story and your plot.
Yeah, so I can talk standing here too. So
I was gonna answer for you. You use your phone.
I use my phone. It's kind of my go-to. I use like notes on the phone, and then eventually I transfer it over to Google Docs. And sometimes I use note cards. Sometimes
I use a lot of note cards. We have random note cards just floating around with his ideas, and I hand it to him. He's like, "Don't look at that.
Don't look at that.
Don't leave it lying around if it's a secret."
Then I print it and I put it in my binder.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually where I keep all my notes. And then a lot of my ideas kind of just stick in my head unless they're really detailed.
What kitty content happened while I was gone?
Luna fit.
She was hungry. She yelled at me the moment I walked in from the walk.
Here's the thing: is if I tried to feed her, this is great D&D content, everyone. Just buckle.
She knows what that thing is. She's staring at you.
They both know these.
We just bought them new laser pointers because it needed to happen.
She doesn't eat when I feed her. Half the time, at least.
She likes me feeding her, which is exhausting because then if I'm busy doing something, he tries to feed her. She just ignores him and then still comes and bugs me. And sometimes in the morning, I don't want to feed her. It's his turn, and she will wake me up 10 minutes later anyways. She's now chasing a laser. It's adorable.
Okay, she's pooped. I have an opportunity.
What other questions we
Let's see, we got lasers. Are we at the bottom?
No, you want me to go to the bottom?
Let's go all the way down. Catch up.
The catnap spell.
Catnap spell.
Short rest for 10 minutes. Could have one potion form. Might be nice. Allie, you look comfy. Now I want to go wrap myself in a blanket fortress. Ooh, okay. This is actually, it's a cardigan.
I love how she went for a walk and came back and stole the strings.
It is a Taylor Swift cardigan from one of her most recent albums that came out last year, Folklore. It is nice and comfy. It was worth the $30 I spent on it.
Well, let's do it.
I totally stole the stream from you. I need to go work on my scene for acting class, but this is highly entertaining. From who? Oh. I think, yeah, most of her recent merch has been a lot more affordable. I think once she left her old record label and she's now with Universal Music Group, a lot better. Okay, I'm concerned about who you texted.
Okay, I'm back. Like I said, solid D&D content. I know. Potion of Slow Thought for the next 6 rounds. Hey, my mouse is being weird. There we go, fix the mouse. Potion of Slow Thought. The next 6 rounds, the affected has 3 turns. So they kind of lose like a turn. Slow Thought. I would like Slow Thought being like, because there is a spell called Slow, right? So Slow Thought, how do we apply that to, rather than the Dex and Strength ability score, which is what Slow you technically puts it on. Slow Thought, how does that affect your wisdom and your intelligence? I toss the ball to you. Sports. Fortune potion later. Ooh. Delay all actions by a round. Potion of repeating shot, returning weapon. Interesting. We're talking potions for D&D. Thank you, Kale. Oh, hi, Nikki. There's just more people coming. All right, so I got my popcorn. Bye, Yarrow. Okay. The potion could have it so you're drowsed and unattentive. Cause you to be unfocused. Current task in hand. Okay. So if that's the narrative, how it affects your wisdom and intelligence. Slow mechanically will slow, that's a spell. I'm trying to remember it versus read it. Slow removes all multiple attacks, prevents you from doing a bonus action, and cuts your movement in half. So, disadvantage on investigation and perception. I like that. Just their perception is slowed, as if everything around them is moving twice as fast. Right. So I would I've greatly customized this. So, let me look in my book. So we got, for wisdom, I would say slow thought affects perception and insight. You know, survival makes sense too. Sensing danger, defensive tactics, camping. History, Arcana investigation. I mean, why not? Let's have it affect wisdom and intelligence, right? You have disadvantage on wisdom and intelligence checks, saving throws, and skills. For how long? I think that was said. Because it's not necessarily an illusion. If it is partially an illusion, and it's partially a it's both an intellectual and an emotional manipulation, right? So it affects all your wisdom skills and your checks and saves, and same thing for intelligence. Disadvantage, super clean and simple. Let's say that will last 1d4 rounds. I like leaving that up to the dice. 1d4 rounds. So it's kind of pointless outside of combat. Here we go. Slow thought is 1d4 rounds of disadvantage on all wisdom and intel based rolls. Slow thought. What would, like, my day was wonderful. Thank you, Judson. How do we actually, does it really give it a disadvantage? You're perceiving the world slower. So I think it's like in Dread, where they're taking the slow-mo drug and they see everything in 1,000 frames per second. So what if it doubles your brain's temporal resolution, and you actually get advantage for 1d4 rounds on intelligence and wisdom? Because perceiving it faster, I would... Right, you are... No, I would say if you're perceiving things faster, it would be a disadvantage. Because now, if the world is moving much faster around you, at least in your perception, it's kind of like an elderly person driving a car, and it's not going that well. Versus acting. Advantage on wisdom, disadvantage on intelligence. I like that. 1d4 rounds. Advantage on whiz, but disadvantage on intel. Hey, Gray Bob, thank you for stopping by. So slow thought is advantage on wisdom, but disadvantage on intelligence. And who mentioned fast thought? Dervard. Fast thought is the opposite. 1d4 rounds of literally the opposite. That's where the movie Limitless comes in. Literally like drugs. You perceive the world as it's moving slow. Right. If my brain is like taking coffee, right? My brain is being jacked up and going and going and going and going and going. And it's processing faster. It's reading and writing faster than I normally can do. That means my intelligence would be getting boosted because I could process the information and interpret a solution to a problem sooner. But would that mean the counter to that is here it is. My attunement to the world and intuitions are now thrown off balance. Whereas slow thought, the accuracy of using my intelligence is going down because my perspective of the world around me, my intuition is more jacked up. I don't know. It makes sense to me this way. Either way, right? Either way, those two as a yin and a yang potion, I think is a great thing. Wizards and clerics are going to love that. Thought wrapping. Potion of thought wrapping for 1d4 rounds on the consumer has the effect of fast thought or slow thought, determined by a flipping coin. We have something similar with the potion of fire and ice, where it's like there's a 4 combo chance of something happening. So a potion of thought wrapping can do one or the other. But it could... How about that? Potion of thought wrapping is actually a 2d4 and it's one or the other and you don't know which one. So it's a more potent, wilder version. Basically a flip the coin, you know? Perfect. This is the cleanest live stream I've ever seen. Great. Cleanest. That would be so disorienting to have. And it really would. Yeah, how is this, like, what makes this the cleanest? Kyo job? Did I say that right? I don't think I did. Kyo job. Kyo job. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Looking beautiful. Thanks. You know, I work on my looks a lot. I do my own hair now. Thanks, COVID. Thanks, Ronnie. Oh, thank you. The quality. Oh, thank you. I did a lot working on this. I have attached to my desk, I have a classic, you know, the keyboard tray that goes underneath and comes in and out. I have that on the back of my desk. And then on the very end, I have a monopod attached to it, holding up a teleprompter that allows me to have the chat right here. So I'm looking at you more accurately when I'm reading from what you say, which is something nice. It's a little off, but either speeding up or slowing down your perception of time. Yeah, I also, yeah, thought wrapping 2d4. I really like that. Thank you. It's just the classic Mohawk, but I think what makes the Mohawk work is the insanity that is my face right now. Yeah, this Cthulhu-ness. Let's see. What would that do mechanically? What would that do mechanically? The slow thought, fast thought, and thought wrapping. So slow thought, as I have it written, 1d4 rounds of advantage on wisdom, but disadvantage on intelligence. Fast thought, 1d4 rounds of advantage on intelligence, but disadvantage on wisdom. So those two potions would be super clutch to wizards, clerics, and rangers, honestly. And then thought wrapping is 2d4 slow or fast, so it's more of a wild, induced, potent version. It's not harnessed and focused. Look at us chemists. We're just a bunch of apothecaries in a live stream right now. Potion of good sleep. I think we skimmed over it. I love the name of that potion. Someone mentioned you take it and in 10 minutes you essentially have a short rest. I like the idea that a potion of good sleep gives you the conditions of a long rest, but that's super OP. That really is. So it's got to be super expensive and super rare. But how would that work? Is it instant, you know? Or in like, yeah, I love the name of that. Long rest in the time of a short rest. So so you take this potion and in an hour, you'll have a long rest. So that means in an hour, you will be cure of an exhaustion, if you have one. All your spell slots and hit dice are back. And your max HP. That sounds like what supreme healing should be. You know what? Potion of good sleep. I'm literally just going to make the new supreme healing. Heck yeah. If I'm going to have a 2,500 gold piece potion, it better do a long rest. Yes? Luna's foot's by my foots. She's right there though. She was behind me, but now she's not behind me. Did I scare you, Luna? It's the punting zone. We call it the punting zone in our house because in the middle of the night the cats will be in the perfect walking spot, and you know they're black cat. They're all black cats. Middle of the night, we make the joke about it like it's a dark joke. We don't want to hit them. We don't want to kick them, but you know sometimes we trip over our cats. And we just play their voice like, look out, we're in the punting zone. Get out to the punting zone. Sports. Oh, here's an interest. The Ethan Edge. Maybe the good sleep gives you elf racial bonus of resting. So that's like, it's a 4-hour meditation, right? It's something like that. I imagine it's something that rich people use to go to sleep better. Yeah? Punting zone. My gosh, she's just getting all in my cables and my hard drives. It's hilarious. She's right there. I imagine as rich people use to get better sleep. However, you could use it to send others to sleep. Potion of good sleep. Well, okay. So let's try that. Supreme healing will forever be now in my game. Equivalent is after an hour of taking, you get all the benefits of a long rest. Cool, I'll keep that. That seems OP, but for how expensive that potion is, maybe it'll just be something else. Potion of good sleep. Something that people take to get a good night's sleep. It makes sense narratively. Mechanically, long rest is made out of 8 hours. So do people take this potion to make sure they can get their full 8 hours of sleep? Or 8 hours of rest? Because rest isn't necessarily sleep. 8 hours of rest being 2 hours of downtime with 6 hours of sleep. A potion of temp HP. Yeah, a potion of temp HP is... That is a gold mine right there. Temp HP. Scrolling through the chat. Potion of good sleep. Get a long rest in half the time. Rich people use it. There we go. And that plays off the elvish or elven racial bonus for sleep. So it's essentially a 4 hours. Okay, potion of good sleep is long rest in 4 hours. There we go. Because that means that they still have to sleep. Because narratively, characters who can avoid sleeping forever sounds crazy. But they have like 4 hours of meditation, right?
6.
6? Okay. Potion of temp HP. You take that potion and you roll something to get your HP. Potion of restless meditation. Could potion of good sleep give effects much like a hero's feast? Or is that too OP? I'm aware of Hero's Feast. I've read it twice. I don't remember it entirely. Heroes. I know that sound. Thank you. I love you. Do you hear that? I'm getting worse here tonight. I have golden stick.
I get it. I'm not. Well, we're both getting it, but it's normal.
Okay, good. As long as you're happy, I'm happy. Golden State cider. Not an ad, but I love the taste of this. I've come to love cider even more than just ale when I learned that in the Old West, the reason why people drank whiskey and cider, not ale, cider, more than water, is because water wasn't always clean. So it was safer and healthier to constantly consume cider and whiskey. I know cider is beer. I know it is, but it's more specific. And I've become fascinated with that and liked it, and now I'm on a cider trend. Elves meditate for 4 hours. Yes, Cmike is my name. It's just a shorthand because it didn't fit on the screen in the font size that was on the Corridor Crew channel. Okay, Hero's Feast. I have it up here. 6th level spell. Ooh. 10 minutes. 30 feet of range. You bring forth a great feast, including magnificent food and drink. The feast takes 1 hour to consume, okay, and then disappears at the end. And the beneficial effects don't set in until this hour is over. Up to 12 creatures can partake in the feast. A creature that partakes of the feast gains several benefits. The creature is cured of all diseases, poison, becomes immune to poison and being frightened, and makes all wisdom saving throws with advantage. Its hit point maximum also increases by 2d10, and it gains the same number of hit points. The benefits last 24 hours. Okay, I think Potion of Good Sleep functioning as Hero's Feast is a bit OP. I mean, what is OP, right? It nerfs the cleric who has that ability. You know, you don't want to have a homebrew that makes someone else's abilities and spells and contribution to the game less. So I like Potion of Good Sleep, which if you drink it, your next long rest is 4 hours long. I think that's great. Like, and narratively it makes sense. Like, hardcore entrepreneur aristocrats are taking this hardcore. I think a side effect from it, though, is there has to be a physical side effect to it. Like, if someone's only getting 4 hours of sleep, whether it's a full rest or not, this is something I've learned. When you make up stuff to balance it out, you want something bad to happen too. A great example in this binder somewhere is an example. Here are my examples. So my new NPC combat classes sheet is right next to my weapons and armor and shields sheet on my binder. I can pull it out. I definitely want to do an update on my loads and durability and NPC combat class, and this is a big part of it. This is all the weapons and armor and shields in D&D. That's all of it, all on one page. And I've put down the dice that they do damage in, how much load do they cost, how much durability they have, and how much gold do they cost. I have that all right here on a single page. And one thing that I noticed when building the shields mechanic out from 5 Torches Deep is 5 Torches Deep shield mechanic is just a shield. But something I like to do is watch react videos from Insider, mostly the ones that have like historian experts in medieval warfare, weapons, react and special forces. That special force one, I learned about a little bit more about tracking, how special forces track, and I'm gonna apply that to rangers in the future more. But something I did with shields is I have a buckler shield as a small shield. I have a heater and a round shield for medium. I have a kite and a tower shield for large. And then I have a paviz. I actually don't know how to say this word. Pavise. Try saying it, because guess what? I'm only going to be able to read it. And these are all different types of shields, and I broke them down to whether you're going to get wood or metal. And they all have different loads, durabilities, AC bonuses, and gold costs. And we talked about these shields in the Discord for Fables, in the Homebrew channel. Is like every time you went up for more durability, it was going to weigh more load. So that when you're a player trying to go, oh, I want the best shield possible. Well, you got to balance your strength, how heavy it is, and how many durability points you're willing to put to it. And if you have, at least in my game, Electrum, which is magical currency, you can spend Electrum as you would normally gold to enchant the item. And I thought that was a very, like, interesting concept. Like, when you're making new things, you want negative side effects, not to just discourage them away. Like, don't take this potion, as a massive bad effect. You want to discourage spamming. That's what you want to do. So if bring it back around, potion of good sleep, you get full long rest in 4 hours. How do you prevent spamming that potion? Well, one, we can do gold cost, right? Let's think about the resources the players have. They have gold, currency. Let's be honest, that's a platinum potion. Let's just be honest. What's some more resources we can mess with? Dexterity might be going down. Maybe taking that potion, you get rid of you get all the long rest in 4 hours, but your next dexterity check or saving throw is at disadvantage. You know, something like that. Vision and hearing impaired, exhaustion later, maybe. Hi, Ronan. Welcome. We're talking D&D potions. If consumed 3 or more times within a 48-hour period, roll to see what negative effects may happen with a list of potential side effects. Ooh, get a random encounter table involved? You tickle me fancy when you say these words. Yeah, I like that. So, 3 or more times. Yeah, let's say 3 more times. That's fine. Because if you took it, right? If you took 2 of those potions of good sleep, let's say your wizard or your cleric's got 2 points of exhaustion, and you do not have a greater restoration at the moment, and you take 2 potions of good sleep, you would, in an 8-hour rest, have 2 days of sleep, and you'd be pretty good. That would only help you with exhaustion, because nothing else would stack. Or at least I wouldn't allow anything to stack outside of that. Speaking of stacks, 3 or more times. The next long rest is 2 hours long. Yeah, I don't know if I should stack that way. Taken more than twice per week will reduce constitution by 1 ability score for 24 hours. 2 ability scores. There you go. So if you take 1. Let's do 1. So if you take Potion of Good Sleep more than twice in a single week, you'll lose a Constitution ability score for 24 hours. I'm gonna do 2, so that way an entire modifier goes down. Potion of Good Sleep, the narrative being rich aristocrats and nobles use this potion to get stuff done, and therefore their constitutions are probably not the best. But that being said, if you carefully take micro dosage of this potion, so like once a week, once a quest, it could save lives. It's that type of a potion. You make it dependence issue as well. If they continue to consume the potion, it's harder to long rest naturally. I do like that. Taken more than twice per week. -2 on con score for 24 hours. It also makes your next normal long rest. How do I word that? Prevents you from completing a normal 8-hour long rest. Completing your next, that's the right word, your next normal 8-hour long rest. That's a solid. Honestly, I'll take that over minusing constitution points, because that means a mad scientist, right, could be taking this potion constantly to put more time into their work. At a certain point, they can't stop without like a cleric being there to prevent them from dying of exhaustion if they get off of it. So it's like, if I take this twice in a single week, what will happen is my next normal long rest I can't complete, which means I'm only getting a point of exhaustion. And if I've taken 4 of these, if I've taken 3 of these, then it will happen a second time and I get to my next point of exhaustion. So it starts compounding. You will get encouraged to be addicted to Potion of Good Sleep if you take it too many times too often. And you just, at a certain point, have to go buy more Potion of Good Sleep because you're too afraid of all the exhaustion points.
Some quality cat content.
Oh, my big boy. Yes, I can hear him. So, I love it. I really love Potion of Good Sleep. If you as a player in a team are on top of it and they're aware that there is an addiction problem, this is perfect. This is genuinely perfect for it. And I would say, like, you have to go to a cleric. I have this, actually, I have this in my binder. Under my, so my first few pages on my binder are all DC related. It's just a guide through DCs that I want to remember and stuff. What's up, Jason? So in my death DC page, the DC for death saving throws per PC increases permanently after each time they go unconscious. So a DC 10 becomes a DC 11, then a DC 12, DC 13, DC 14, DC 15. So you want to avoid getting dropped. Let's see. Help. If you can't stabilize a dying character for whatever reason, you can creatively use the help action to give advantage on their next saving throw. That's not in the official book. I have that here for me because I like the idea of, rather than trying to roll on a stabilizing, like it's a DC 10 to stabilize somebody, right? Anyone can stabilize. DC 10 wisdom, that's right. So it's more encouraged for rangers and clerics to do it. I like the idea is that somebody can come over and give you the help action on your next saving throw, which gives you advantage on your next saving throw. And if your DC is super high on death saves because you keep going unconscious, you're going to be extremely dependent on your party members' buffs. So this is not what I'm about to read. It's technically not written, but it is an official rule. Death saving throws are saving throws. And this became a controversy it keeps coming up because it's hard to remember and consider that because it's such a unique thing. But I rolled a dirty 20 on a death saving throw once. And the reason I got to a dirty 20 is because I had a ring that gave me a +1 on saving throws. And what we agreed on in the home game, and I really like this as a rule, any external magic that helps general saving throws also helps death saving throws. It can't be something that comes from you, because that nerfs death saving throws. But if you have bless from a cleric on your party, you can use bless on your death saving throw. You'll see, Cmike, you ever miss the corridor crew? I don't. We can derail for a hot second on that. I don't necessarily miss corridor crew production because that was extremely exhausting and stressful. I enjoyed what I created. I didn't enjoy the process that we were creating it. And there were better ways to do it. And what I enjoy now is hanging out with the crew and making some of the website content, especially Son of a Dungeon. Sam and I are having a blast making Son of a Dungeon. It's like 4 terabytes a day. In fact, my computer right now is still processing proxies so I can edit. Let's see. Recover 3 successful death saving throws. You get 1 HP and can start fighting again. That's something that's not in the books, and I really like that rule where it's like, instead of okay, I'm unconscious, I've successfully got all my saving throws, and now I'm just laying there being like, I'm not dying, but I'm not playing anymore. I think being unconscious is incredibly frustrating, and being unconscious is totally okay. Like, if a player goes unconscious, they probably deserve it. If you're stabilized and put to 0 HP, I say roll a 1d4, and that's how many rounds until you pop up to 1 HP. And I'm pretty brutal with 1 HP, by the way. Let's see if I can bring it up. It's in my healing pages. You do not want to be on... No. It's in combat. It's 100% in combat. You do not want to be 1 HP in my games. I'll probably frustrate the heck out of anyone if they're 1 HP in my game. So, low HP, last legs. If you're 0 HP, death saving throws. 1 HP, you have an auto 1 level of exhaustion. At the end of each turn, roll a con save DC 10 to avoid another level of exhaustion. At 2 HP, top of each turn, roll a con save to avoid an exhaustion level. At 3 HP, same thing, the DC is just 5. So you do not want to be an HP 3, 2, and 1 in my game. Let's see here. Resurrection. I had a point to this. Went deep diving in my own notes. I'm reading. That's right. It's not in death. It's in my werewolf. So I have a werewolf homebrew. I haven't been able to test it yet, so I'm afraid of putting it out on the internet. I want to at least test it at least once. But the main concept that connects to this with Potion of Good Sleep, you need to find not just any cleric who can help you with greater restoration and cure curse, right? You need to find someone who is an expert in the field, who deals with the problem at hand. So if I have Lycanthropy, I need to find a cleric who's an expert in that curse, who knows how to deal with it. I like that. That brings expertise to my NPCs. And I think Potion of Good Sleep, if a town of aristocrats are taking Potion of Good Sleep to stay awake and get shit done, or worse, they're forcing it into their servants. Ooh, that's a quest. And their servants have to keep taking it. So they just keep working, and they're getting confused on what day it is, because sure, they've been awake, they're getting their full long rest, but time is getting blurry, it's like being on lockdown. I think to cure it, you need to find a cleric who knows what they're doing, not just cast Greater Restoration. I think cast Greater Restoration works for a PC, not enough for an NPC, because PCs are supposed to be better. That's my thought. We went down the rabbit hole of resurrections and deaths. I can keep talking about resurrections. I got some cool notes here. Here's a question for you. How do you deal with engulf in your games? And what would you say to a player who could get out of an engulf? Engulf. I think I know what you're talking about, but I want to clarify. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Engulfed. Hasn't happened yet. I say yet because I have dragons. As a DM, I have pet dragons. So I'm gonna Bob Johnson, thank you for the question. So I want my first instinct to engulfing and swallowing a PC. My thought would be their movement would be 0. They have like you're in my throat, right? Thinking that way. You have you cannot move. You can cast spells. I think everything's at disadvantage. even attacks. Like, I know the idea is like there's no way of missing, but I think disadvantage because you are essentially grappled. Yeah, you know, let's look at that. Let's look at conditions. Yeah, I would say you're considered grappled if you're engulfed. I would just do that. You're grappled. I think that would be easy. As much as... So this is something else I've learned with some of my players, and it's a good lesson, is when the best way to adjudicate a gray area rule is rely on other existing mechanics in the game because it sounds fair. So rather than saying out of my ass, movement 0, disadvantage, like I was doing, it was taking longer to process that information. So if we were playing and you got swallowed, Bob, we would have stopped the game for me to think about it, and we get a few more chefs in the kitchen versus, well, let me look at conditions. I'd say you're grappled. I outsource my thinking, and everyone will say that's fair because we all understand it and we all can visualize it in our own little way. I have my characters that have recovered from death saving throws come back like Darkest Dungeons. They are alive and still kicking, but you're gonna have some heavy debuffs. Right. So coming back from death saving throws, I would say your DC for your next set of death saving throws are going to go up by a DC, and you're at 1 HP, right? You're essentially at 1 HP. Yeah, either way, whether you're stabilized, helped, whatever. And 1 HP in my game, you really get screwed. Scrolling down, catching up. Grappled by the ground. Cmike, if you look up the Shambling Mound, you can see what I'm talking about. All right, I'll look it up. Just for you, Bob. Shambling Mound. I just typed in Shambling, and Shambling Mound 5e is the first thing that came up. Oh yeah, this guy's in my my bogs and swamps on my terrain encounter tables. Engulf. The Shambling Mound engulfs a medium or smaller creature by grappling it. The engulfed target is blinded, restrained. The difference between restrained and grappling bothers the heck out of me. Let me read them for everyone watching. Grappled is your speed becomes 0. You can't benefit from any bonuses to your speed. The condition ends if the grappler is incapacitated. The condition ends if an effect removes you from the reach of the grappler or the grappling effect. Restrained is your speed becomes 0 and it can't benefit from any bonus to its speed. Same thing as grappled. Attacks on you have advantage, and your attacks have disadvantage. You have disadvantage on dexterity saving throws. So I'm trying to imagine grappling. Someone grabs you, right? I've covered the art. Actually, let me grab a book. That autofocus that just sharpens up my background. Okay, conditions. I have the conditions written down. I'm literally looking for the image. The reason why I'm looking for the image is I'm trying to narratively understand the difference between restrained and grappling. Grappled means I've grabbed you. I've got you, right? It's strength-based. Restrained, what's the difference between restrained and grapple? Narratively. Okay, back to the shambling mound and the engulf. The engulf target is blinded and restrained. That makes sense. And an unable to breathe. Ooh. So that means if you can't breathe, you're holding your breath. So 1 minute per constitution modifier. That's not that bad. I always thought that was not that bad when you can't breathe. And it must succeed on a DC 14 constitution saving throw at the start of each of the mound's turn, or take 13 or 2d8 plus 4 damage, bludgeoning damage. If the mound moves, the engulfed target moves with it. The mound, so this engulf, I would say, is essentially swallow. I would put this mechanic on like huge and massive creatures as well. All right, we got some restraints in here. You can be restrained by a rope, but not grappled by it. I imagine restrained is being tied up. Yeah. Where did I write this down? I wrote this down right here. Keeping my notes. What's up? All right, so something I've been working on hardcore is breaking down ability scores to understand narratively the difference. Obviously, it's strength, dex, constitution, charisma, intelligence, wisdom. We can all assume the difference, but I want a mechanical understanding of each one differently, especially because wisdom, constitution, and strength came from fortitude, will, and I think just strength, right? In earlier editions. And 5e is really expanding on these. So in here, I think I wrote down something interesting. Yes, I did. So I specifically took notes on saving throws and what triggers a saving throw. So me as a DM, I know how to use it. Strength saving throws, resisting/reacting to a grapple or physical force. Dexterity saving throws, avoiding and reacting a restrainment, a fall, or physical trap. So me personally, I tie restrained to dexterity and grapple to strength. Because if I'm restrained with rope, obviously I can use strength to rip it through, but I can use dex to wiggle my way out. That's right. So yeah, I like engulf. I think that's a solid rule for being swallowed. You're grappled until you're swallowed, and then you become restrained and blinded. Ben Snow, yeah, you're pretty much on it. A PC restrains someone by tying them up or putting them in cuffs. They grapple them by grabbing them. Yeah, agreed. All right, let's see. Let's bounce back to these potions. I want to rewind to poisons again. I like the idea that there's a common, greater, and superior poison that matches mechanically to potions. So 2d4, 4d4, and 8d4. I like that idea. And I think you can carry that over to acids as well. The more potent of an acid, the more potent of a poison you make. And obviously they become less common, from common to uncommon to rare. I like that idea. And I think most potions, whether they're like unique ones, custom made ones, can follow that same mechanical guideline. Even potion of good sleep, you know, I would say there's no common potion of good sleep. I would say potion of good sleep is an uncommon item, so there's only one more tier up. And that one could be a 2 hours one, but that's too expensive. Like, so expensive that a PC would have to have an idea of like, what if this is such a thing, I could make a 2-hour one. That's my thought on that. We got some good potions here. Unearned confidence. A charisma saving throw to determine if you get disadvantage or advantage on charisma saves, checks, or skills for the next. This is potion/poison of unearned confidence. Charisma saving throw to determine if you get disadvantage or advantage on a charisma saves, checks, or skills for the next. What's the time period for that? Uncomfortable sleep. Ooh, that's interesting. Poison of uncomfortable sleep. Uncomfortable sleep. It's poison, so it's instantly going to be bad. It would keep you awake, but that's just coffee. Fun fact, because I was able to go to Guatemala for a week right before COVID hit, and I got to spend a buttload of time with Black Rifle guys and talking and learning from local coffee farmers while interviewing them on top of just conversations. And I learned so much about coffee as a culture, an industry, and just the process from field to cup, right? To the point that when my players go to like an inn, if they ask for coffee, my coffee nerd comes out and I'm like, what kind of coffee do you want? I have so many answers that I could throw at them. Poison of uncomfortable sleep and poison of nightmares. I like being like the same thing. Maybe they're like the different names for the same thing. In other words, alcohol. I had that question about having a potion of bravery, and the DM told me ale. Well, that's, yeah, because bravery isn't a thing, right? I ordered I have the PDF, but I actually want to, this is something I really want to get the book, and I ordered the book and I'm waiting for it, is the Peterson's game Call of Cthulhu for 5e. And I'm interested in how they're going to do Sanity in 5e, because I have a theory on how to do Sanity, which is similar to the load system. For those in the stream here that don't know what the load system is, I can do a quick rundown. I took it from 5 Torches Deep, which is a great game. Basically, let's say you have 12 strength on your character. You're going to have also 12 load. Max, yeah. Your 12 strength equal how much you can carry. The load point system essentially replaces pounds and puts in more of a one-to-one abstract system. So you can carry up to 12 loads because you have 12 strength. And once you pass your strength, you start becoming encumbered, and that affects your saving throws and your movement. So I have a similar theory, and that's how you should play Sanity, but doing it with your intelligence score. So your intelligence score also represents your sanity level. And if things like, let's say you're playing Curse of Strahd or Call of Cthulhu kind of quests, where sanity is really on the edge of the game, right? We're really playing with it. I would say you will be taking points of insanity, and I would say roll a 1d4. I think 1d4 of sanity, and if you pass your intelligence modifier, if you pass your intelligence score with sanity point, insanity points or sanity points, whichever use of the word you want to use, you start going insane, and it keeps going. It caps at. It keeps going. You literally can go insane. There has to be I don't know a proper method to bring it back down yet, because load, you just take stuff off of you, and so I'm interested in that. There is a madness table. There is. But I like tying it into ability scores, kind of like load. Bravery, I might associate that to wisdom. So just like I'm saying with sanity and strength, sanity and load, I would put bravery on a wisdom. Now there is coward and bravery, and then there is sanity and insanity. So I might play it slightly different. Like maybe you start at your ability score and you go more insane. So same method, just visually it's different. So I start with, if my intelligence modifier is 15 intelligence modifier, that means I start with 15 sanity points. I don't want to lose my sanity points because that means I'm going more insane. Which means the smarter you are, the less likely or the harder it is for you to go insane. And I think wisdom is the same thing. Your bravery is set to your wisdom ability score. And you can become more cowardly the lower your bravery goes down. And once it hits 0, you're a coward 100%. So what would that mean if you took a potion of bravery, right? I think a potion of bravery, if you were losing bravery points, it would boost it back up. If you were to take it at your max, would you go above and beyond? I would say a potion of bravery would just give you luck. Honestly. Like, mechanically, that's the thing that makes sense. You're so brave that you cannot roll a natural 1 on this. I think that's it. Man, this game is awesome. Right. Firetra? Yeah, Firetra, you're on the right path. My thing is, it has to be so easily explainable, just like the load system, or at least visualized in a player's mind, or else it won't last. Or at least it'll be harder for a player who's legacy player who's grown up with the rules to like break that and not forget. Which is why I'm interested in seeing what they have in the book. Jason Lee, you didn't miss much. We have talked about resurrection, we talked about sanity and bravery, and we talked about saving throws. We are also kind of on the topic of poison of uncomfortable sleep and poison of nightmares, which I think is how we kind of leaned into insanity. William Kim, I don't play, but I am quite enjoying listening and the insight and tension. Oh, thank you. This is kind of the beautiful part of D&D, I think. It's like as a kid, when you play with Legos or your toys, you're instantly coming up with stories about them. In D&D, you kind of get to do that about rules. And you're creating a sport, you're creating a game, you're creating something, and you're designing something. And it's all imaginary when you do it, and it's all imaginary when you prep it. And it's kind of fun. Poison of bad sleep. That's another name. That's what the poison of bad sleep. Yeah, so there's like 3 names for this potion. All are reasonably used to reference this poison. Have a this is you happy and scale. Poison Nightmare could have a common version that just makes long rest act like a short rest. There you go. That's a good reversal. Or does it right, so or does it turn a long rest into 16 hours? Unrefined potion of good sleep. Yeah, so I think good sleep and uncomfortable sleep, or poison of nightmares, come from the same root herb or source in nature that needs to be used as a component. I think because you will not with this poison you will not get long rest. It prevents you from getting a long rest. So we have to keep that in mind. I think that's an important thing in this potion or poison. Yeah, it could do more time, so it would turn it in. So potion of good sleep, rather than using the language in 4 hours, I will use the word in half. It will cut your long rest in half. So by using that language, it can be determined that if you took 2, you can get down to 2 hours for a long rest. But if you take it more than twice per week, it prevents you from completing your next normal 8-hour long rest. So poison of uncomfortable sleep could double your long rest. I feel like if you okay, hear me out. Because we use the word nightmares in Poison of Nightmare, to get a Poison of Nightmare, you have to seek out a nightmare hag. Okay? It's it's eldritch magic that makes it. So you have to find a hag of nightmares. And if the poison of uncomfortable sleep or the poison of nightmares is what doubles your long rest, whereas potion of good sleep halves it, the ultimate cure to being addicted to good sleep is making a deal with a nightmare hag and getting the poison. So, if that doesn't explain where good sleep comes from. So, what are the effects? Long rest is doubled. So that means, this is an interesting situation. The potion is supposed to be the good thing. The poison is the cure to the potion. I find that absolutely fascinating. So long rest is doubled. No one wants double long rest. What are the consequence of it though? Which means if you were to take this poison and you have not taken potion of good sleep, your long rest is 16 hours. Why do some people call it uncomfortable sleep? Why do some people call it nightmares and call it bad sleep when it's just doubling your sleep, you know? I think you have to survive a nightmare. No. So this is something I have back in my head for a specific magical trap, which has to do with a hag. And this might, you know what? You guys might have just helped me make a complete adventure quest. A poison of uncomfortable sleep. This long rest is doubled. And the creature who drinks it must endure a nightmare. Okay? The key to the nightmare. If they survive the nightmare, they wake up with 1 level of exhaustion. If they fail all their death saving throws in the nightmare, they wake up well rested. Ooh, a mind flare could take advantage of it. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, can I show this? Yeah, let me fiddle with this and I'll get it up here on the screen. My screen's gonna do some crazy stuff when I try to do it. It's not the button I wanted. Okay, display capture. Bloop. And I'll toss it right there. And then on my feed, let's just pan the camera. It's as far as I can pan the camera. There we go. There, that's fine. That's legible. All right. So right here, potion of goodness, or goodness. This potion is so good. Yeah, it's just a potion. I really do think it's a good thing that I'm having it because it's potion of goodness. Sorry for the slurp. So yeah, potion of good sleep. The long rest in half. It's halved. Take more than twice per week. Prevents you from completing your next normal 8-hour rest. Poison of uncomfortable sleep. Poison of nightmares. Poison of bad sleep. Long rest is doubled. The creature who drinks it must endure a nightmare. If they survive the nightmare, they wake up with 1 level of exhaustion. If they fail all their death saving throws in the nightmare, they wake up well rested. I still want to figure out potion of temp HP. And we have down here slow thought, fast thought, and rapping thought. Nightmare entity encounter. Yeah, so the nightmare would be a random encounter table, which, you know, that's a terrain. Nightmares. I'm down. It probably. Let me look at my encounter table super quick. Oof, there's a lot of monsters. I think I would, for the nightmare, depending on the PC, would be based because my encounter tables are based on terrain. I'd pick a terrain in their backstory or just their character creation, and then I would have them roll on that terrain's encounter table, and then I would just buff up the monster. Oh yeah, easily. A bugbear with 4 arms? Yeah. Like, I like picking on dwarves because I play a dwarf. I've been playing a dwarf for 3 years. We got, in that campaign, Durgar are a possible enemy. I kind of removed Durgar from my games and kind of just made them gray dwarfs and just made them another race of dwarf. Got giants. You got blindness. A failure, the ability to like not be able to craft or make or be useful. You play with those things. And they have to accept that fear, that nightmare, and die in that nightmare to really prove that they can get through it. Because I have an idea for a well, but the only way you can get out of the well is accepting your death and drowning. Okay, so that's an interesting idea. The whole party takes the potions, right? So if you introduce the potion of good sleep, there's going to be a player that's going to be like, oh, I want more of this. And you figure out a story for them to get more. And you're essentially playing the waiting game. You're waiting for them to spam it. And once they do, they learn that their normal long rest is now problematic because now they're getting exhaustion points. And the way to recover from that is greater restoration, which means you're wasting the cleric's spell. So you're letting their drug addiction boil up. This is a great plot-based item. This is amazing. This is probably better than tossing in deck of many things. They have to discover how they can successfully cure him without killing him. And the answer is there an opposite version that can help? And you're like, go to the apothecary, figure it out. And you find that there's such a thing called poison of bad sleep or uncomfortable sleep, also known as poison of nightmares. This is an adventure ready to be written. I'm totally down to do like a 4 or 8 part adventure on Fables just about Potion of Good Sleep. I'm so willing to do it. I need to add exhaustion to this. Yeah, sure. I thought it was kind of obvious, but I can make it there just to be safe. If you can't complete your long rest, you gain 1 level of exhaustion. You know what? Let's make this text a little bit more fun. I'm more of a size 10 Laura. Yeah, that's more of my game. Hey Wiltho. Yeah, I'm doing really well. I'm working hard. Working hard on Son of a Dungeon, working hard on functional filmmaking, and I'm working hard on Fables, and I'm working hard on Black Rifle. I have how many jobs? Used by a snake oil salesman to try to swindle people out of their money. Perfect. Sneak this. Could do a potion of the silver tongue, advantage on deception rolls. Yes. Oh, the food arrived? I'm gonna have to sign off super quick, but I want to get some of these potion ideas in here. So, potion of silver tongue. Did you know that the I goes before the T on potion? I didn't. I know that was a typo. Diction, never though of that addiction potion. Unwanted luck, by the way. Here's an idea. Unwanted luck. We'll do another potion stream because I love it. I want you all to stew on this. I want to find a way to make potion of unwanted luck just as addicting as potion of good sleep. Because I feel like if I took, it's called unwanted luck, right? So I feel like the naming is a warning. If I take this potion of unwanted luck, I become lucky. What stops me, other than the cost and currency, to get more and spam it? I would love to figure that out in the next potion live stream. And then we need to figure out potion of temp HP. Oh yeah. All right. So I'm gonna sign off. I appreciate everyone who was here brainstorming with me. I think the two biggest successes here. Note everything that's been written down is a great success. But the two biggest successes, I think, are slow and fast thought and thought wrapping, and the sleeping spells, the sleeping potions. There's a plot ready for it. These are great potions right here for spellcasters. This, honestly, when we're able to play more in person again for Fables, expect me doing a multi-part one-shot as a dungeon master to play with these potions, and that's the quest. I'm expecting to find a way to make this a quest, because man, this is great. I hope everyone who's watched enjoys these ideas, enjoyed the back and forth of trying to build something together, and I hope we can do it again soon. It'll probably be on a weekend. I can't promise next weekend. It will just be a spur of the moment. On your free time, consider, writing it down, keeping a note of it, so when we do another stream like this, we can talk about it. If you want to keep talking more about this, if you're not a member of the Fables Discord, head over there. We have a Homebrew channel where we talk about this stuff all the time. The link should be in the description below. All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna have dinner, and I'm gonna watch probably a Disney movie.
King Arthur.
I'm watching King Arthur. Which one? The Guy Ritchie.
Yeah, Guy Ritchie. And
the Guy Ritchie one.
King Arthur.
I really enjoyed that movie. All right. That soundtrack's so good. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. And have a great evening, rest of the weekend, and a great week. Bye.